It's no mystery, the world of artificial intelligence and podcasting has collided. Now, we've done a few different videos on the channel here over the past couple of months, helping you better understand exactly what you need to do to leverage AI for your podcasting efforts. Today, we're going to do that same thing, but we're going to share some additional tools on what to do regarding recording and producing your podcast episodes while working AI into the equation, and then what you can do after you've recorded your podcast to leverage it to create micro content, additional content for your blog, for your brand, etc. So let's dive in. Now, you may be handling all of this on your own as a solo podcaster because you're just getting started. Totally cool. AI is going to make that process just that much easier. While I'm not a fan of handling all of your podcast production on your own because I just don't think it's sustainable. If you're just getting started, it is a viable solution for you. Now, you may have a team around you that's helping to produce your podcast, edit your podcast, create your micro content, etc. And if that's the case, well, this video is going to be relevant and help with that process too. Now, one of the most important things you want to make sure you pay attention to when you are getting your podcast edited is reducing noise in the background and additional noise outside of you actually talking into the microphone. There's AI tools out there that now allow you to automate this process and simply drop the file in and it'll go in and clean it up. Now, these are not foolproof, and I don't believe that it doesn't need to be checked after you've actually done this, but for the most part, they are viable tools that work pretty well and they get the job done versus not doing anything at all, i.e. background noise, the doorbell ringing, the air conditioning coming on, the weed eater person outside, whatever the case may be. So when it comes to reducing background noise, when it comes to reducing and cleaning up your audio, a couple tools I've come across here. Tools like Adobe Podcast Enhancer, great tool to go in there and clean up your actual podcast episode and remove any echoes, background noises, and things that you don't want to be part of your podcast episode. Another one is called Auphonic. By the way, I'm going to put all these tools below in the description of this podcast episode for you to check out. But Auphonic helps out with that, as well as Krisp.ai. These are tools that'll go in and actually clean your audio quality up and improve it, which is what you want. You want to put the best quality audio out as you possibly can, especially if you don't have an editor. Now, if you have an editor, chances are the software that they're utilizing is going to already do this, as it always has prior to AI arriving on the scene. But this allows you to improve audio clarity, clean up background noise, and make sure that your quality of your audio is as best as it possibly can be. Now, when it comes to editing and transcriptions, AI is amazing with this. Why? Well, it doesn't require a lot of human effort. Notice I said a lot of human effort. It does require human effort because the robots aren't perfect when they're going in and they're creating a transcript. Now, transcript, not as important. You just want to go through that transcript after AI has done its thing and make sure all the names are correct, company names are correct, and there's no wrong information that it's spit back out to you. But for the most part, they're pretty accurate. Now, you want to have transcriptions for your podcast so that it's SEO friendly. It is indexed on search engines. Hearing impaired, vision impaired individuals have the opportunity to consume your podcast content if they can't listen or watch any of your content. So transcriptions are very important. There's a space in your podcast hosting account when you upload the episode to copy and paste the transcript in there. Editing and transcript tools, Descript. We use that here at the Podcast Launch Lab. Incredible tool for captions, show notes, titles, social media, text, post, caption ideas. There's a number of different things that Descript does for you, but these are all AI-powered tools to help you create transcripts, show notes, titles of your episode. Very important. Being able to create search-friendly titles for your episode. You want to think, would someone actually search for the title of this episode and then name the episode accordingly to that? In addition to being able to handle transcriptions and captions and things of that nature. Descript can also help you with some micro content, and it has a number of different benefits. So again, be sure to check out Descript. We love it here at the Podcast Launch Lab. We've been using it for a few years now, and we're sure you will too. Now, this last tip for AI in your podcast production / editing would be more geared towards your podcast editing team or editor, because this involves multi-tracks, meaning you, one track, your guest, another track. Editors seem to like that because they can edit each person's voice. Some people talk louder than others. Some people are closer to the mic than others. So being able to have one track with both people on it, technically it can be edited that way, but multi-tracks, meaning one track is me talking, one track is my guest talking, makes it far easier for your podcast editing team to be able to get in and edit that podcast and make it the best quality possible. Couple tools. One I'm familiar with, Riverside.fm, will record in multi-tracks. It'll give you a video track. It'll give you separate video tracks, separate audio tracks. Makes it real easy and streamlines the editing process. And then Podcastle. Podcastle I'm not that familiar with, but it probably does something similar to what Riverside does. And that gives you multiple tracks when going in and editing your podcast episode. Way back when recording with GarageBand or Audacity, you would have to set up the recording to actually capture separate audio, and it was a lot of technical stuff. This takes all the guesswork out of it. You simply open up the studio, create an episode, start recording, and you choose what options you want. In fact, I think Riverside automatically gives you separate tracks so that it makes your editing process just that much easier. Well, that does it for this video on tips, tricks, and tools on your podcast editing, production, and micro content. On the next video, we're going to dive a little bit more into micro content because it is a very important aspect of your podcast because it helps you get the word out. It helps more people find you in the newsfeed, and it gives you something to post on social media on a daily basis so people know about you and people actually find you. Questions, thoughts, ideas, concerns about this video or any video on the channel, please leave a comment below. I do respond to each and every one of you lovely people. Until next time.